Ok, tá gravando.
Well, we are glad to welcome Dr. Mohamed Goma. The name is strange for me, but it's correct, Mohamed Goma. It's correct pronunciation, Mohamed. Okay, Mohamed. I'm Marcelo Piragip. I'm a state judge and member of International Academy of Jurisprudence and Comparative Law. And today we are going to start a series of meetings on the comparative law. We are glad to welcome Dr. Mohamed Gona today. You are the pre-trial judge at the State Commissioner at the Egyptian Council of State, correct? Correct. Okay. Along with me, Dr. Caetano Levi is also a member of the International Academy and judge of the translation, my son Yuri Piragibe, lawyer, and Giordano Bruno, special assistant, because although I understand English perfectly well, but I don't speak well. Okay. So thank you very much for your presence today, Dr. Mohamed. And I hope it will to be an excellent exchange of experience about our laws, customs, and other things from our countries. Please, Yuri and Bruno, start our lives and call Dr. Caetano for his comando aí, vocês. Caetano, se você puder dar as boas-vindas, ele vai traduzir.
Boa tarde. Welcome, Dr. Mohamed. Faço parte da Academia Internacional de Direito e Jurisprudência e é uma alegria muito grande poder participar deste evento. Sorry, but I don't speak English well.
Vai lá, de ideia em ideia, transmite assim, vai lá, Bruno, assim, cada ideia você faz como
yeah. Dr. Mohamed, Dr. Caetano is greeting you. He says it's a pleasure to have you with us. It's an honor to have you available, because of your time. And he apologized because he doesn't speak English very well, but he was able to say enough that he's grading you.
É muito importante.
Yes, of course, no problem.
Excuse me.
It's my pleasure, Dr. Caetano. It's my pleasure.
Ele falou que é um prazer, Dr. Caetano.
Thank you. Mas é muito importante que nós troquemos experiências. A comparação de ordens jurídicas é de extrema importância, cada uma com as suas particularidades, mas nós temos uma linha em comum. E daí a importância, repito, da comparação.
Yeah, he was talking about the importance of exchanging these informations about the differentialities that we have in our systems, and exchange these experiences on how each country works differently on a justice system.
Acredito que teremos uma tarde-noite, porque parece-me no Egito já é noite, muito proveitosa e onde poderemos aprender muito. Fico feliz e agradeço a oportunidade. Muito obrigado. Thank you.
Yeah, he said he believes it's gonna be a great day, a great moment in the afternoon or evening, because it's evening right now in Egypt, right? And he's really looking forward to this exchange of knowledge.
Yes, it would be my pleasure to share the idea about the comparative law in Egypt and the judicial system in Egypt, and to make a little comparison, if we could, with Dr. Catiano as a judge from a different or another legal and judicial system. And I wish that we could have an informative discussion today for all of us.
Ok. Então, Caetano, ele disse que ele também espera que a gente consiga, né, fazer uma conversa muito proveitosa aqui, podendo trocar essas experiências. E para ele é um prazer muito grande estar fazendo parte desse programa conosco.
Ok, Bruno, então faz o que a gente combinou, qual é o roteiro da live para ambos. É o Caetano roteiro, ele vai falar do Egito, depois a gente fala do Brasil e vamos trocando. Então, para ele começar assim, a falar, dizer que o Yuri está tendo problema lá com a internet dele, né? E que a gente que se ele puder fazer uma explanação, a gente depois faz a nossa.
Ótimo.
Tinha a questão da história.
Da história como?
Da academia.
Sim, então tá, vou falar, porque ele já leu a academia e já deve ter lido lá no site. Pergunta para ele se ele leu a história da academia, porque aí já passa essa parte.
O Yuri voltou. Dr. Mohammed, have you read about, because one of the things that we planned on the script was to talk a little about the story of the academy. Have you already read that on the link that Dr. Marcelo sent you? Oh, wait, you're mute. Hold on. Okay.
Open the microphone, Dr. Mohammed.
Okay, so for that, I already read about the academy and the history of the academy and the main purpose of the academy to enhance the legal study and legal research over the world, comparative law, and to disuse the legal culture around the world as much as possible. And it's my pleasure to be a part of such impressive team of the academy, and also to share with you the other knowledge here in the Arab region and in Egypt, as an expert judge here at the Court of Appeal in Egypt.
Awesome. Hold on. Where's Yuri? Yuri fell again.
Yuri have my son Yuri have a problem with the internet in her house. Pergunto se ele quer mais algum esclarecimento sobre a academia, Bruno.
Dr. Mohammed, you need some clarifying on the academy, on how it works, the story, something?
No, I'm just would like to ask about the project on which we will act, and can give me more information about it and how we can enhance and use our knowledge together to enhance the work of the academy as much as possible all over the world.
Well, this project that we're doing with the videos and lives that we're going to start, is the idea is to exactly spread the knowledge. And it used to be very presential. Sometimes would be, events where people would have together, but we decided to go on a digital way, because then we would be able to spread more knowledge, acquire more knowledge also, and be able to work with the biggest number of people possible.
O que você falou, Bruno? Traduz para a gente depois.
Não, ele tinha pedido só para clarificar algumas coisas sobre como que é esse projeto da academia e como que ele poderia ajudar com relação a essa troca de conhecimento.
E, diz que a gente está abrindo a academia para correspondentes no mundo inteiro. Já temos correspondentes em grande parte do mundo, mas o intuito é exatamente estreitar laços com alguns países, entre os quais o Egito.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as Dr. Marcelo just remembered, we are opening this possibility of having members, their corresponding members in other countries, and we're still working on that, on how it's going to be exactly prepared and formatted, but it's one of the next steps, to have these corresponding members, which are judges just like you in other countries, that we can kind of keep corresponding, and anything that changes in law or any new update that we have, we're still working on the platform for that, but it's coming very soon.
That's great. I encourage that and appreciate that, and appreciate being a member of that. I have some suggestion which could also enhance such work. We can make a survey about. We can create a survey which includes different questions. And we could ask the participants from all over the world, from different legal judicial system, to participate with us to answer those questions. After that, we could have a data from all over the world. Each one of us will participate as an expert in his legal and judicial system. For example, for me in Egypt, I will answer about, for example, 50 main questions, which describes the judicial system in Egypt. So we will create a worldwide data which could enhance our work. We can update it for example, as agreed, year after year, or things like that.
Okay, that's interesting. Ele estava falando de uma sugestão que ele dava era de fazer tipo uma pesquisa, né, com vários países, com juízes de outros países diferentes, em torno de né, o que realmente acontece em cada sistema judiciário e de que forma, né, poderia se trocar mais informações e prosseguirem, né, evoluindo com esses estudos. Yuri voltou. Doutor, o senhor está mudo.
Agradece a ele, diz que a gente faz parte de uma associação enorme, da associação, a maior associação de juízes no mundo, e que a gente tem também vários, eu e o Caetano, através da associação, temos vários órgãos que cuidam do estreitamento das relações e de programas internacionais, como é o caso da União Internacional de Magistrados, o UIM, que anualmente se reúne com mais de 120 países para bianual, né? E se reúne para fazer proposta de melhorar o sistema judicial do mundo inteiro, que inclusive eu e o Caetano já viajamos para vários outros países nessa troca de experiência, inclusive a China, Portugal, entre outros países, e que a ideia dele é muito boa.
Yeah, Dr. Mohammed, they appreciate your idea, and both Dr. Marcelo and Dr. Caetano, they are part of the Union for Justice, for Judges, Magistrates, and they have been traveling to many countries over the years in this effort of bringing together all the judges from different parts in the world and communicating about the systems and trying to find ways that we can help each other, find new solutions and better ways to conduct our systems.
E que estivemos, inclusive, há pouco tempo na China e em Portugal, né?
Yeah, recently have been to China, Portugal. There was, China, Portugal.
Ainda ontem eu fiz uma live sobre Timor-Leste, onde eu estive também pela União Europeia.
Yeah, and Dr. Marcelo mentioned yesterday he was in a live stream about the East Timor, and there was a partnership with the European Union.
E que estamos abertos às ideias dele e muito interessados nessa coparticipação, nessa ajuda que ele pode nos fornecer, e que a doutora Catarina Nicodemos, que é a presidente, certamente irá formalizar para que ele seja um associado correspondente da academia, que já tem 40 anos.
Yeah, and he also mentioned he appreciates all your ideas, anything you can bring to the table. We're really glad about it. And he believes that Mrs. Catarina Nicodemos, which is the president of the academy, she will really very soon make it official that you are a corresponding member.
Thank you very much for that. And from my side, I will start with this project, and sorry. Okay, I will take the first step in this project and send, and I will create a file which include about 50 or 70 questions, from 50 to 70 questions, which give a general idea about each legal system. Then I will send it to Dr. Marcelo to discuss with you and of course the president of your academy. Then we can ask someone of the academy member to invite people, and it will be a little easy mission to invite people from different judicial authorities around the world to participate in such survey and answer those questions. I think this step will enhance the work of the academy and participate in transfer of the legal and judicial information around the world. I will take the responsibility of creating such survey to cover the most important and needed ideas and that could help to have a general idea about the judicial legal system of whatever the country. Okay, and this will be my responsibility. And after I finished, it may take 1 month or 2 months. I think little to gathering and create such gathering the important matter and questions and create such survey. Then I will present it to Dr. Marcelo as a proposal to discuss in your academy and to cooperate all together in such project.
That's excellent. Excellent. O Marcelo, o Dr. Caetano, ele estava falando aqui dessa questão do questionário, né, de fazer essa pesquisa e tal, e ele tomou para si a responsabilidade de estar criando esse questionário, alguma coisa entre 50 e 70 perguntas, para poder encaminhar para os senhores e, posteriormente, né, poder abrir debate para convites maiores e poder estar passando essa pesquisa adiante também, né, para que possa ser possível começar a identificar essas questões, né, do sistema judiciário e até de coisas que podem ser propostas, né, tanto para os estudos quanto para sugestões, né, de novos juízes. E E ele falou que está tomando isso como responsabilidade própria dele, ele já quer dar esse primeiro passo, né, no sentido de conseguir poder promover ainda mais essa troca de conhecimento.
Ótimo. Diz para ele que eu e o Caetano vamos levar essa proposta à doutora Catarina, que certamente deve adotá-la, e que a gente ficou muito feliz em saber que ele está com essa disposição de ajudar, que a academia estava meio parada, e ele deu uma nova oxigenação no grupo, né?
Mm-hmm. Dr. Mohammed is saying that he's very happy with your excitement, with your engagement, and most certainly Mrs. Katarina, the president of the academy, she's going to embrace all your suggestions and the surveys and everything, so we can, step even further towards that, the spread of the knowledge and sharing the knowledge and allowing more people to come in.
Caetano quer falar alguma coisa também, que está feliz aí?
Sim, Marcelo. Eu achei muito oportuna esta ideia do Dr. Mohammed de elaborar um roteiro, um questionário, porque a partir disso podemos fazer o levantamento, Marcelo, inclusive usando a nossa Escola Nacional da Magistratura. Eu coloco a escola à disposição, porque nós, com nossos 14 mil associados, temos um campo vasto para fazer essa pesquisa. E realmente fazer o levantamento de pontos importantes que podemos, numa outra oportunidade, ampliar e aprofundar o debate.
O Bruno fala exatamente isso, que o Caetano é presidente da Escola Nacional da Magistratura, e que a nossa associação é a maior associação do mundo, com mais de 14 mil juízes, e temos uma grande estrutura que pode ajudar a academia nesse projeto.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Caetano said that he's really happy with your engagement too, with your ideas, and he's currently the president of the National School for Magistrates, for judges. Over 14,000 judges are associated to this school, and he sees a great possibility to improve this even further, because we could send a survey to all these 14,000 judges and eventually create some program inside the national school that we could offer, even more of this knowledge, and eventually, maybe engaging in a discussion, or bring in more content, bring in even more power to this exchange.
Yes, of course. It would be a great project that will enhance the legal culture and judicial culture all over the world. Someday, I'm very glad and happy to cooperate with all of you guys. Because I like the group work always could achieve a great success together.
That's great. Ele falou que está muito satisfeito, está muito empolgado com a ideia. Né? Ele se sente muito honrado de poder estar, né, podendo dar esse passo importante, que para ele também é algo que preenche muito, que satisfaz muito essa curiosidade dele de como funcionam os sistemas. Né?
Perfeito. Então, acho que a gente pode começar, né, Bruno? Ele falando um pouco do Egito, que a gente vai levar essa proposta importante, a gente conta com ele, provavelmente vai vir um convite formal da nossa presidente, para que ele seja correspondente, aceitando essa pesquisa, e vamos abrir os canais de comunicação que nós já temos na academia, e agora com apoio da Escola Nacional da Magistratura. E que, se ele puder falar um pouco, né, adiantando um pouco, falar um pouco como é que é a justiça lá, naquele roteiro que foi feito, para a gente levar já esse primeiro passo para todos lá.
Okay. So, Dr. Mohammed, moving on, Dr. Marcelo again said he's very excited about the idea of bringing the school into the project, and it's really exciting to see how engaged you are, how dedicated you are to the idea. And so we can move on. I'd like if you could tell us a little bit about the justice system in Egypt, how it works today, how it operates today. Oh, by the way, if we could start, just to get some context, if you could tell us your story, briefly, your story with the justice system. How did you start? How was this path for you?
Of course, I would like to share a file that I have prepared, which could be clarifying most of the script questions. Wait a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait a moment to share it with you.
Eu acho que ele está tentando fazer mostrar, né? Ele está tentando compartilhar, né? Tá.
Está buscando o arquivo ali de alguma coisa.
Yes, you see my screen now or not?
Oh yeah, it's here.
Yes, the first word is a short profile of the speaker. Is it seen for you or not?
Sorry?
The PDF file. You see the PDF file that I opened or not?
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I can see it. We can see it.
Okay.
Did you send this to Dr. Marcelo? No.
No, I haven't sent it to him yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yes, such a short profile of me, as shown in your screen. Regarding my education, I would like to start with my education. I am a PhD researcher in public international law at the Cairo University, and also I have got a master's degree of law and economics from the University of Hamburg, Germany in 2022. I am just writing my thesis right now. I also graduated. I also got an intensive master program in European law and economics from Riga Graduate School of Law, located in Latvia, in 2021. I have also studied a master's degree in international business law from the University of Jean Moulin, Lyon, Troyes, which is located in France, in 2017. I have also two diploma master degree in both private and public law from Ain Shams University in 2012 until 2014. After I graduated from the Faculty of Law and have this master degree, I working as a judge at the Court of Appeal at the Egyptian State Council since 2014. I am also a mentee at the 8th cycle of the Young ICCA mentoring program. I am an expert at tracing inherent powers project, which adopted by Leiden University since March 2021. I'm also founder and a board member of the energy-related arbitration practitioner. And also I'm a member at the Mediate Group Board for Mediation and Arbitration. Additionally, I'm a member and participant at the Arbitration Academy, which is located in Paris, France. I'm also a member of the Scientific Committee of International Journal of Legal Interpretative Judgment, which published by the Democratic Arab Center in Germany, in Berlin, since 2021. And worked as a lawyer in the Legal Affairs Department at the Egyptian-Russian University for 2 years. That's a little profile of me. I started my work at the Egyptian Council of State as a judge at the Court of Appeal in 2014. I have dealt with different type of cases and disputes, different types of laws, different types of legal questions, and I also formulated different judgments and sentences for during my work. I am interested in legal research. I followed the jurisprudence of the French Council of State for since about 3 years or 4 years, and I also participated in different international books as an author, and also I published different articles in both English and French language.
Good. Dr. Mohammed, Giordano is here. I think, okay, Giordano, I think because my son disappeared, I think Giordano disappeared too. But, okay, Bruno, tenta assim, não deixar tanto tempo, a gente, né, então, que a gente vai traduzindo, que tudo isso vai ser traduzido, colocado nessa nossa live, e que a gente vai colocar. Vamos tentar fazer uma coisa mais dinâmica, que ele possa... Tá fechado, Bruno, para que ele possa ir fazendo, você traduzindo. O Yuri, infelizmente, está tentando lá, mas está com problema de conexão. Toca aí, então, Giordano. Não, você está com o telefone, você está com o microfone fechado, Bruno.
Agora que eu vi. Eu controlando aqui, eu que... Não, beleza, ele estava falando ali passando um pouco do currículo dele, e o Yuri caiu mesmo, né? Eita.
Caiu mesmo. Eu pedi para ele se tocando, ele está tentando um outro microfone. Pelo que eu vi, ele tem um currículo enorme. França, Paris, etc. É uma pessoa muito... Diz que eu fiquei encantado com o currículo dele. Ele tem uma performance em vários países e vê-se que ele tem um currículo muito bom e que é uma pessoa muito interessada.
Hold on. Yeah, he was just updating us. Yuri fell, his connection is down and he's not being able to come back. But Dr. Marcelo is really... Oh, hold on. Let me remove this because I can see the... Yeah, okay, good. Hold on.
Should I still stop sharing or not?
Sorry?
I stopped sharing my screen.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he was just updating me on Yuri because he lost his connection. He's not being able to come back. He's trying some other microphone, something there. But it's okay. It was awesome. Dr. Marcelo said you have a very impressive resume. That you have such great credentials, and the fact that you are so focused on international studies and all your different actions throughout your resume, it's very impressive.
Yes, thank you very much for that. Yes, I am focused on the legal research and international and comparative laws all over the world. I have studied business law, Islamic Sharia law, the law of the European Union, and also arbitration and dispute resolution, mediation, and I'm a member in different arbitration academy and located in Paris, and also I am a founder and one of the board members of the Energy Arbitration Disputes Resolution Committee. Also, I published different papers in both English and French. The last one, it's about the effect of the pandemic on the execution of international administrative contracts. All of us know that the pandemic has different effects also all over the people, all over the world, and also it has a legal effect on the contracts which concluded and which stopped its performance because of the pandemic. So I published my last article in international published center, which called Filia, and also I published another article in French because I speak also French very well. It's about the power of the arbitrator to create a balance between the parties in state contracts. You know, in administrative or the state contracts in which the state or a public person is a party, always the state or the public person has a prerogatives powers than the other party. So the arbitrator, how the arbitrator could create a balance between the interests of the parties. We know that the state or the public person always working for the public interest, contrarily to the other private party who is concludes a contract for his own profit or his own benefits. So how the arbitrator could create a balance? It's a very, very interesting article which has published in France at the Village du Justice in France. Those, I think, the last articles I have published. So I am really focused on the international law, the international current and surrounding cases, and try to make a comparison, make suggestions, make to enhance and enrich the legal research as much as possible. And thank you, Dr. Marcelo, for your words. Thank you.
Bruno, faz resumo rápido, né? Agradece as palavras e tudo.
Ele está falando sobre os artigos que ele publicou, alguns artigos que ele tem publicado sobre essa questão do direito internacional, e ele faz parte da Academia de Arbitração de Paris, do Egito também, e uma coisa que ele acabou focando muito foi justamente no impacto da pandemia, na questão de contratos entre países diferentes, em contratos internacionais, porque como que o juiz arbitrador vai garantir um equilíbrio justo entre um contrato que se celebra entre dois países que têm realidades diferentes, que tiveram impactos diferentes durante a pandemia, e pelo que ele tem falado, ele tem muito essa questão de estudar essas peculiaridades e conseguir fazer justamente um balanço justo entre as realidades de cada país, de cada questão, como o juiz arbitrador, conseguir ver a realidade dos dois.
O Bruno, fala para ele que a gente tem a intenção de colocar essa live nas nossas redes sociais, Facebook, site da academia, etc., que se ele podia seguir aqui, falar alguma coisa sobre o Egito, que a gente não vai colocar essa parte que a gente falou, que são tratativas nossas, não vai ser colocada em público, mas que a partir de agora, se ele podia, só para cativar o público, se ele podia falar um pouco do país dele, da justiça dele, etc., que a gente depois faça o nosso para começar essa série que a gente pretende fazer.
Dr. Mohammed, Mr. Marcelo says that it's amazing. Again, it's amazing. All your knowledge and all your dedication to the matters. And he mentioned that this part is going to be up because I'll be adding all this video later. And he said it's the intention to put this not only on the website for the Academy, but he also wants to share in his own, both of them, they want to share in their own social media. And we would like to move on. If you're okay with that, of course, if you allow them to share this. Obviously, we're gonna be tagging you, sending you the links and everything. And he asked me if you could talk a little bit more about Egypt, how the justice system in Egypt works.
Yes, yes, yes,
And
of course, yes.
the peculiarities,
Yes.
how does it work in there?
Yes, we can say that the judicial system in Egypt it consists of three main bodies and two authorities. If we talk about the three main bodies, we will found that first comes the Supreme Constitutional Court. The Supreme Constitutional Court, from its name, it is a court which is responsible for constitutionality of laws and regulations, and it also responsible for interpret the laws and regulation, and to and also in disputes between two different judicial bodies regarding the jurisdiction. For example, if two judicial bodies like the Egyptian State Council and the Court of Cassation said said that the court has the jurisdiction in such dispute, in such case, and here a dispute has created between the two judicial bodies. Here the Supreme Constitutional Court is the responsible to settle such dispute. And second body after the Supreme Constitutional Court is the judiciary and public prosecution. The judiciary in Egypt has a general jurisdiction or mandate in most of cases, which means that it has the authority and mandate to settle the criminal disputes, civil disputes, and commercial disputes, family disputes, that the judiciary has the jurisdiction over it. And we found with the judiciary public prosecution, which is responsible for investigating in crimes in Egypt, president by the public prosecutor, who is selected by the president of the state or republic. And the public prosecution is a part of the judiciary. And the third body after the Supreme Constitutional Court and the judiciary, we should also mention that the judiciary includes the Court of Cassation and Court of Appeal and first instance courts also. We found that the third body after those two bodies is called the Egyptian State Council. The Egyptian State Council here is the responsible for the administrative cases or the administrative disputes in which the state or the public person is a party. In the State Council, we found that different departments. First department is the Judicial Department, which consists of courts like the Supreme Administrative Court, and second, the Court of Appeal, and also the first instance courts. This is the first department of the Egyptian State Council. Second department is the Legislative and Advising Department. The Legislative and Advising Department is consists of two parts or two departments. The first one is responsible for revising the new legislations, and the second one is the advisory, which give the advice to the government. Therefore, those are the three main bodies in the judicial system in Egypt, First, Supreme Constitutional Court. Second, the Court of the Judiciary and the Public Prosecution, includes the Court of Cassation. Third is the Egyptian State Council, includes the Supreme Administrative Court. There are also, as I mentioned, two authorities which are independent too. First authority is the Administrative Prosecution, which is responsible for investigating in administrative irregularities and employees crimes. And also we found another authority, which is the State Cases Authority, which is considered as the lawyer of the state. If the state was a party of any dispute, we found that the State Cases Authority defend for the state rights in those disputes. So the State Cases Authority always representing the state in disputes, which most of time in front of State Council, as we mentioned. To resume, we found that the Egyptian judicial system, we know that Egypt is a civil law country, and we found that the judicial court system here in Egypt is a dual degree system, which means that there are 2 degrees in the judicial system in Egypt for the plaintiffs. First one is the first instance courts, and second one is the courts of appeal. This is a general view about the judicial system in Egypt. If someone would like to ask about anything.
O Caetano está contando, falando do sistema judicial lá do Egito. Depois vai ser tudo traduzido e colocado no site. Eu acho que esse modelo está bom. Depois o Bruno está com o microfone fechado, Bruno.
Perdão. Ele estava falando lá que basicamente é o direito civil.
Eu vi.
Né, civil law.
Civil law.
E estava falando da estrutura de cada uma das instâncias. E aí depois a gente põe a legenda lá.
Põe a legenda lá. Depois pergunto se ele vai para o segundo tópico, a parte das penas, que a gente aqui... pergunta para ele, porque a gente aqui no Brasil, 2 coisas têm saído nos noticiários. Primeiro é a pouca incidência das mulheres no judiciário. E segundo, se ele pode falar um pouco a respeito do sistema, daquele segundo tópico, né, de penas, etc., e das poucas mulheres no judiciário e do sistema penal, que parece que lá ainda tem pena de morte, tem chicotada, essas coisas, que ainda é assim, se ele pode falar um pouco dessa parte criminal.
Yeah, Dr. Marcelo was asking, he said he understood the whole structure, and he was asking because something that has been recent on the news is about the number of women in the judiciary system in Egypt. And which is not only in Egypt, probably. I mean, it's the whole world. But he wanted to know if you had something to comment on that topic, because it's something that is coming up a lot in the news.
Yes, of course. In Egypt, I think the situation was a little different, and without any justification. In Egypt, the woman in judicial system has a little chances, or not lucky as much. This is because I think, in my opinion as a judge, because of customs and habits. Because the Egyptian constitution, which has adopted in 2014 in Egypt, gives a woman a place in the judicial authority in all courts. However, we found that in the judiciary and especially public prosecution, we found that the public prosecutor in Egypt refused to adopt such way and give the woman a chance in public prosecution, considering that the public prosecution work is very hard for women. This is from one side, and from other side, it's about some of Islamic principles. We know that in Egypt, the Islamic principle is the main principle of legislation, and this article still exists in the Egyptian constitution. So we can find that some of the reason for not giving the woman a place in the public prosecution is based on Islamic thoughts and Islamic principles. However, since about 2 months, here in Egypt we have what's called the Supreme Council for Judicial Bodies, which president by the President of Republic and the Ministry of Justice. Such body it's better. Such body or council, such council has have a meeting about 2 months ago, and here we found that the President of Republic intervened and asked for the woman place in public prosecution and also in Egyptian Council of State, and consider that a violation, consider what's happened as a violation to the Egyptian constitution principles. And he asked the president of the 3 bodies that we mentioned, the 3 main bodies, which are the Supreme Constitutional Court, the Judiciary or the Court of Cassation and Public Prosecution, and finally the Egyptian Council of State, to give the woman a place or the opportunity to be a part of such body. And after about 1 week from such meeting, there was a publication which published giving the woman a place or an opportunity to present their resume to those judicial bodies, and of course a different interview will I think will occur in the few next weeks with them, and choose from those women to be a part of those parts. After this is after about 30 years, I think, of non-response to the principle of equality and the principle of I don't found all of time I don't found a reason for such refuse. I don't find a justification, because while I'm studying, I found that many women get high grades than all of us can observe that. So they can achieve great success in the judicial bodies, great success in the court work. They can always participate successfully in such bodies and in such judicial authority. So I am happy for that modification.
Yes, As you say, it's more...
Não, depois abre a palavra para o Caetano fazer alguma pergunta também sobre esse tema hoje.
Você pegou tudo, Dr. Caetano? Precisa de alguma...
de algum help? Só uma parte.
Não, ele basicamente estava falando que é muito mais essa questão de poucas mulheres no sistema judiciário, é muito mais uma questão social, de costume, né? Porque tem toda uma questão, recentemente publicaram lá que as mulheres tinham que ter direito a uma vaga, né, no sistema judiciário, e que muitas vezes as mulheres têm até uma pontuação, né, boa, elas têm uma pontuação relevante, né, tanto na faculdade quanto nos próprios trabalhos ali, mas até por conta da tradição islâmica também, né, tem um pouco dessa afastamento das mulheres no judiciário.
Eu gostaria que o Dr. Mohamed, nos dissesse como que é feita a escolha dos juízes lá no Egito. Se é por concurso público, por livre nomeação, como que funciona a escolha do juiz, a seleção e investidura dos juízes?
Dr. Caetano is asking how he's curious about how is the process for a judge to become hired. If it's about is there's a public concourse, if they're just nominated by the state or through election. How does it work for a judge, for anyone to become a judge and get there? What would be the process for that?
After graduated from the Faculty of Law, each body of the mentioned bodies in Egypt have a publication or a public concourse for to be a part of such judicial body. In such publication, the body determine the conditions to be accepted in such concourse or in such judicial body. For example, of such conditions, you should have a grade good. It's little. It's a minimum to be a part of such. In most of judicial bodies in Egypt, to get a grade of good, not commit a crimes, and things condition like that are required. And you are also required to buy a file from the specified place in the publication. You should buy a file which cost about 200 or it's cost about 200 Egyptian pounds. It's about $15. It's about $15. After you buy such file, you should put your data, your personal data, your information about your family, your information about your aunts, and all member families, and then the specialized or the competent committee decided to determine a certain day to have interview with those students or those candidates for the judicial position. And hence we found that the president of the judicial body, for example, the president of the Egyptian Council of State, and the most or the eldest members, 7 members in the Egyptian Council of State, constitute a committee for selection to select the most appropriate candidate. They ask them questions. They follow their data in the files. For example, the parents' work, is it suitable or not. This is considered a criteria to choose here in Egypt. What about the work of your father? What about the work of your mother? Where you live? This information is important. And also, there is another part of the selection process which is important, which is the information which come from security authorities or the police about those candidates. Those information is always about if they have committed previous crimes, if they one of their families is a criminal, or things like that. After gathering all of those information before the committee that I mentioned, which is by the president of the body, the committee will decide to select some of those candidates which are have the most appropriate qualifications and have a clean history, criminal history, of course, and then they will prepare a file which contains the names of the selected candidates and sending it to the Ministry of Justice to sign it by the Ministry of Justice. Then the Ministry of Justice will send it to the President of Republic, who will ratify the decision of the Ministry of Justice, and after that they will send it back to the judicial body to declare the selected person, and the names of the selected judges is always published in the official gazette in Egypt here. This is a very long process that takes more time, and it's a little complicated.
Yeah, I can see it's quite complex.
Yeah, very interesting. How many judges have in Egypt, and how many lawyers? Do you know more or less the numbers?
There is no comparison here because there is a little number, a very little number of judges in the Egyptian Council of State, which I'm a member of it. It's the most difficult judicial body to join here in Egypt. All of the members are 3,000 members or little. Just 3,000 in all Egypt, 3,000. In the judiciary and public prosecution, the number is a little more. It's about 12,000 judges, and also we can find in the other bodies. It's about we can take about 7,000 or 8,000. So all of the judges in Egypt not exceed 30,000 judges in Egypt, not exceed that number. However, we found that the lawyers are many and many in Egypt because of Faculty of Law. Every year graduate 1,000 of students, and a little of them are chosen each year. It's about 200 judges each year could be selected after the long process that we discussed. So the appointment of judges, it takes about 2 years.
Whoa.
Yes, 2 years to finish such procedures before. Yes. So if the body of the judicial body select only 200 person from, for example, 5,000 or 8,000 graduated student from the Faculty of Law, we found that we have thousands of lawyers. It's a very large number of lawyers compared to. We can't make a comparison because
Ok. Acho que agora uma pergunta que é sobre a parte criminal, que é uma parte diferenciada, que lá as penas, parece que ainda existem penas de morte, quais são as penas mais graves lá que existem, que se ele pode dar um panorama assim para o resto, né?
Dr. Mohammed, about the criminal system, what are kinds of the extreme penalties that are applied in the whole system, and is there any kind of alternative penalty? How it has been working in Egypt?
Yes, it's very interesting to discuss such issue because here in Egypt we found that there is crime, delete, and contravention. Three classification of criminal offense that is central to the administration of justice in Egypt and many of civil law countries. Firstly, we found that the crime in Egyptian law, crimes are the most serious offenses punishable by death or prolonged imprisonment. At the second stage, we can find the felony or delete, which is any offense punishable by a short prison sentence, usually from 1 to 5 years, or the punishment could be a fine. This is in the second stage. And finally, at the third stage, we found the contravention, which are the minor offenses. Here we can say that there is a great challenge and struggle between the criminal rules and the principles of Islamic Sharia. This could create a great challenge. This is because we found that in the Egyptian constitution, in Article 2, which discuss Islam and principle of Islamic Sharia, we found that the text in Article 2 mentioned that or provided that Islam is the religion of the state and Arabic is the official language. And the principle of Islamic Sharia are the principal source of legislation, which means that the rules of Islamic Sharia is the main principle of legislation. Here we found a challenge between Islamic Sharia laws and rules and the criminal law. For example, we in the crime of robbery, okay, or theft, we found that in Islamic Sharia rules we should cut the hands of the person who stolen, okay. In the criminal law, we found that the robbery or the theft is considered as a delete, and in some circumstances, the court could aggravate the punishment and consider it as a crime. For example, if the theft use the force to do his crime. So the prison or imprisonment will be the punishment in criminal law, which contradict with the principle of Islamic Sharia. So, which is considered the main resource of the Egyptian legislation. This is a confusion, a little confusion that make struggle here sometimes in Egypt. However, the Egyptian courts since about 40 years adopting the criminal law rules and not consider the Islamic law Sharia principles because there is no penalties like cutting the hands. We can find that in Saudi Arabia, for example, cutting the hands of the person, the thief. But here in Egypt, no, the system is a civil system in the criminal matters. In spite of some people still asking for adopting the Islamic Sharia principles and consider it the best solution for the crimes. I think that you know about that. But however, we still a civil law country. We still adopt the criminal law rules. We still have the imprisonment as a punishment for crimes and delete. And this is the situation since since 40 years or more.
Bruno, vamos abrir agora para ele perguntar para a gente algumas coisas que ele queria saber do sistema brasileiro, etc. Caetano, tem mais alguma pergunta, Caetano?
Eu gostaria só de saber qual é a influência do Alcorão na formulação das penas. Se há uma influência forte, se não há influência, como que ocorre lá no Egito?
Acho que é mais ou menos o que ele estava falando sobre a questão das penas, que tem muita influência do Sharia islâmico. Mas provavelmente, né, eu vou perguntar para ele. Dr. Mohammed, Dr. Caetano is asking about the influence of the Quran. If there is a heavy influence, like you mentioned, the Islamic Sharia, right? Is that the right name? Am I saying right? And
yes.
He was curious regarding the Quran, how much of it has influenced or not the laws.
We can say that yes, the principle of Islamic Sharia is the main principle of founded in Quran and in Ahadith, which means that what the Prophet Muhammad has said. So both Quran and the Ahadith of the Prophet Muhammad constitute the Islamic Sharia. Maybe it has an effect in mosques, for example, but in the legal field or in the judicial system, it has no effect. Especially, we can observe that in the criminal courts or in the criminal law system. So we found that it has no effect on the judicial or the criminal court system. However, we could find that in matters like family matters, okay, family matters and inheritance or matter of heritage or inherit. We can find that the Quran and the Islamic Sharia play a principal role in solving. Because we found that in the disputes between husband and his wife, if there is a divorce, if there is an obligation to pay amount of money for his children, if he has a child, in all of those matters, especially family matters, disputes, we found that the Islamic Sharia plays an essential role here in Egypt, because this has a reason, because most of people here in Egypt are Muslims, and when they going to or decide to marry here, they agree that the principles or the Islamic Sharia principles are the main principles that govern any dispute which may occur in the future between them. For that, we can consider that the marriage here in Egypt is not a civil contract; it's a more religion contract. It's a more religion contract, and the justification for such point is that when any dispute occurs, we found that the Islamic Sharia principle govern such dispute. Yes.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Very interesting.
O que ele falou, Dr. Caetano, é que nas questões criminais não tem muita influência, apesar de ter essa questão do Sharia islâmico, né, de ter alguns princípios, mas que dentro da lei, né, eles não têm, por exemplo, a coisa de cortar a mão, isso aí é mais Arábia Saudita ou outros países. Mas ele falou uma coisa interessante, que o casamento não é visto como um contrato civil. Ele é visto apenas como um contrato religioso. E principalmente nessas questões familiares, questões ligadas a casamento, ou, né, divórcio, questões mais próximas ali dessa questão de família e de princípios individuais, aí o Corão tem um impacto muito grande, sim. Né? O consenso acaba sendo o que está no Sharia islâmico e os princípios que estão no Corão.
Thank you.
Bruno, agora que já temos mais de uma hora, a gente não quer poupá-lo. Uma última pergunta, de que eu trabalho com a questão de iconografia da justiça, tenho muito interesse, e a deusa Mate é a principal deusa que surgiu no Egito desde os tempos mais antigos e se difundiu pelo mundo todo, e até hoje a justiça é relacionada a uma deusa mulher com balança por causa da deusa Mate. O que ele podia, como egípcio natural, o que ele podia ajudar nessa iconografia da deusa da justiça, já adiantando que a gente está terminando por causa do tempo dele e nós. Depois a gente vai uma outra fala aí. Vai lá, cara.
Dr. Mohammed, we don't want to take a lot of your time. We're already close to, we just passed a little of an hour. But there's one personal question that Dr. Marcelo wanted to make, because he worked on a personal project, and I actually helped him a couple of years back, on the iconography of justice, how justice, the idea of justice, has been represented throughout the ages. And the first, you can correct me, please, if I'm wrong, but as far as we found, the goddess Ma'at was the first personification of the justice. It was the first time that was given a form like a human being. And throughout the history, a lot of the elements from Ma'at remain, like the feather and the way the trial was made. And he was curious if you could add something to this knowledge that we have from Ma'at, because we had our sources, but how is she seen? How and maybe even how is she seen inside the justice system? Is she represented somewhere? What's that relation?
Yes, I will share. I prepared something with a file for that. I will share it with you.
That's great.
Yes. Okay. You see my screen right now or not? You see my screen or not? Okay. Could you see my screen or not?
Yeah, yeah.
Might as yes, you see such a screen. I couldn't hear you. You see such a screen of Might. There is a photo for the Might. Could you see it? Such photo of mine? My screen or not?
Seu som está desligado, Bruno. Seu som está desligado. Bruno, seu som está desligado.
Gente, I forgot my phone. Sorry.
Look, this is
I could see it.
You could see it or not? Okay. You see it now?
Yes.
Yes.
You can keep on that window while you're talking. You don't need to go back there. It's.
Okay.
I think there might be a button like present or full screen. Then it could be a bit more visible.
You could hear me or not?
Yeah, I could. My microphone was closed.
Okay, no problem. But you see my screen, my shared screen. Yes.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, that's great. We found that since the dawn of history, justice was symbolized by a blindfolded woman carrying a scale and a sword. This expression has been used across multiple centuries and different civilizations for its strong connotation and the clear meaning which it refers. This picture in your screen, it exists in all Egyptian courts. Behind the judges while they are sitting for ruling, this photo exists behind their sides. And it refers to Ma'at, which is the god of justice. We found that the ancient Egyptian Ma'at is often referred to as a god, but is more commonly considered to actually be an idea. Ma'at was said to be core to the conception of the universe rules and in maintaining the balance and divine order in ancient Egypt. It's a matter. I think it's a matter related to the ancient Egyptian history for the old Egyptians. We found that the name of Ma'at represents that which is straight or truth, and often stand for balance, order, and justice. Thus, the goddess was the personification of order and harmony. She is said to have originated when arose from the waters of Nam, and thus she is often referred as the daughter of Ra, which is another god called Ra, and also some consider her, we mean her Ma'at, to be the wife of the god of wisdom, which called Tahut. In this photo, we should explain why this photo refer to Ma'at or refer to the god of justice, and why does justice symbolize a woman and not a man? Why are such woman is blindfolded? Why carry the scale in the left hand and the sword in the right? We need some explanation. We can find such explanation here. First, regarding the fact that the woman is blindfolded, this is because justice requires equality between opponents without slight distinction between them, without any discrimination regarding their colors, for example, for gender or like that. So the justice here is blindfolded. Regarding the scale that it carries, we found that explanation, it is an indication of the entitlement of the right in accordance with the law, which means that the rights should be like the scale. No, it not accept any discriminations. And regarding the sword, which refers to the power, which refers to the deterrent punishment of the offender and the retaliation against him to restore to justice. And finally, for her being a woman and not a man, it is to indicate that despite the presence of the sword and the scales which refer to the power, we found that mercy is found in this justice, what's called the mercy of the justice. As the heart of the woman is more merciful than the heart of the man. I think that could be a little clarification for the ma'id and the simple which exists in most of the courts here in Egypt and in many countries. That could be help in your research project.
Oh, thank you again. O Bruno fala que a gente já está tomando muito tempo, que a gente gostaria que ele participasse, que ele trouxe muito ânimo para a academia, para a gente, para esse nosso projeto. E agora o mundo está muito mais perto, porque através das lives a gente consegue chegar onde nós quisermos. E que a gente gostaria muito de contar com a colaboração dele nas próximas lives, como convidado ou como participante ativo, de entrevistador, e que a gente vai estar levando todos esses pleitos, e que essa live vai ficar aberta ao público nas redes sociais da academia, assim, com tradução ao vivo. E depois o Caetano também falar as palavras finais, que eu já me agradeço ele muito. Se ele tiver alguma pergunta, a gente está à disposição também, mas devido ao tempo, né? Caetano, agora.
Bom, eu gostaria de agradecer muito ao Dr. Mohamed, não só por tantas informações importantes que ele trouxe, mas principalmente, conforme disse o Marcelo, por trazer esse ânimo novo para a nossa academia. Nosso propósito é realmente de estreitar laços, não só com países de língua neolatinas, mas também com outros países que tenham outras tradições, porque, afinal de contas, a sociedade humana ela tem características comuns em todas as partes, e também é importante aprendermos estas diferenças. É muito interessante o que o Dr. Mohamed disse sobre a influência da interpretação islâmica e do próprio Corão na estrutura do direito egípcio e, claro, com influência também na estrutura judiciária. Então, nós esperamos poder contar mesmo com o Dr. Mohamed em outras oportunidades e, quem sabe, em breve, até um evento presencial aqui no Brasil ou lá no Egito, para que esses laços sejam mais estreitados. Muito obrigado, Dr. Mohamed.
Dr. Mohamed, they're both thanking you so much about all the information that you gave us, so invaluable. Dr. Caetano even said that he was, he had this curiosity about the Quran and all the influences of the Islamic tradition, and you added so much to us today. They all thanking you so much about this. You brought such a new energy into the project, into everything that we were building so far, and Dr. Caetano even said that let's hope we can do a lot more of these lives. Maybe you can, share another live with us, or who knows, maybe an event in person that we can, share the same room physically in the future. Who knows?
E a pesquisa dele também, que a gente tem interesse em dar prosseguimento.
Sim. Yeah. And even the survey you mentioned, that you would prepare the questions and all the things that we could add, it was so invaluable. It was such a refreshing conversation, because you brought so much energy and so many new possibilities.
Yes, it's my pleasure and it's my honor to meet with you virtually today, and of course hope to meet with you in person someday. It would be a great thing to do. Yes, I'm very glad to participate with you and share the ideas together anytime, and to enrich the legal research as much as possible. The survey, I will, as I promised, I will prepare it. And I will be at the end of the month in Germany. I will be located in Germany at the University of Hamburg for 2 months. After those 2 months, if there is a chance to come to the academy after I finished, of course, the survey that I mentioned, if there is a reason for that, you think it would be my pleasure to come to the academy and to meet with all of you someday. It would be great for me, and I'm very, very happy to meet with you all today. It's my honor and my pleasure to do that.
Thank you. We feel so honored for your time, for your availability to be with us. It was really, really a great moment. It was a great exchange of knowledge. We would like to open this moment. If you have any questions, anything that you wanted for us to tell you about the system, if there is any question you have about Brazil.
Yes, I would like, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yes, to discuss the matter of the survey with other members and the president, of course, of the academy, and and also suggest maybe after 2 months to come to the academy to work together on this work. I will prepare most of work, but if we could work on it together a little for few weeks, it could be great. It could be better. It could be save for our time, so I could come to your academy at the end of September, because I will, as I mentioned, stay in the University of Hamburg until the end of September, next September. Then I could come to your academy after that, from Germany to Brazil, or from Egypt to Brazil. But I suggest to discuss this issue because that will help us to cooperate and work on it together, and to save time as much as possible in such project.
Excellent. It would be, for us, it would be such an honor
Thank you
to receive you here.
It's
and
mine.
Yes, it's for all of us. It's a great honor for all of us.
Of course,
And-
yes.
Alguma pergunta? Não.
Não, ele falou só
Da pesquisa, né?
dessa questão da academia, porque ele vai estar indo para a Alemanha.
Sim.
E aí, final de setembro, ele de repente poderia aparecer aqui no Brasil e de repente ir fisicamente na academia. Isso que é uma coisa que ele quer estudar ao longo das próximas semanas.
Dr. Mohammed, it's
Yes.
very, very glad to see in this live today, and I will hope when you come to Brazil, I know you came after 2 months. I hope you come here, and I will open our house and the academy too to you, and it's very important this connection to all the world, and we hope to see again in another lives to repair this experience. Thank you so much to stay here today. And
thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Marcello. It's my pleasure to connect with you from the first time. I found you very, very friendly, and also all of you guys. It's my pleasure and honor to be a part of such an impressive team. Thank you very much.
vamos terminar, Bruno?
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. Vamos. Você quer falar?
Não. Até a próxima, né? Deu tudo certinho, porque já tem 1h30, já deve estar cansado.
Já está tudo gravado aqui. Depois no encerramento também a gente põe
a gente
coisa.
continua em conexão com ele, a gente vai mandar correspondências, enfim, continuar. Foi muito importante essa conexão.
Beleza. Dr. Mohammed, again, I'll finish recording this in a couple of seconds. But again, thank you so much. It was really invaluable for all of us. It was really, really a great moment having you with us.
Thank you. The same is here. Thank you very much for all of you for such words and for such virtual meeting. Thank you very much, and have a great night.
You too. Have a good night. See you again in September or late. Or bye.
Yes, see you. Bye. Have a great night.
See you. Bye.
See you.
See you. Bye.